Hey everybody, it's been a while since I've done a video. There's quite a few updates to do. It's September now. I think it's been probably at least 3 months since I posted a video. So I just thought I would give you a little update of where we are and what we're doing, but that will probably come in another video. So this video I wanted to focus on our new daily, the Delica Mini. This is a 2024 Delica Mini. It's the T-Spec. I believe it's called the T-Spec. Yeah, the T-Spec, which means it's 4-wheel drive. It's got a 660 3-cylinder turbo engine, 4-wheel drive, and it's a cool little car. Really happy with it. Like I said, I've been driving it for at least 3 or 4 months now. When the video comes out, it'll be 3 or 4 months, and I absolutely love it for a daily car. It's perfect. So let me take you through a few of the things about this car, show you around, give you kind of a little bit of a review, I guess. So yeah, let's get to it. So let's start with the exterior. It's the white color, as you can see. We'll start from the front, I guess. So it has the adaptive LED headlights in this, which was an optional extra. I'm actually really impressed with how well these work. I think the first time I saw a system like this was on, I believe, an Audi. So basically, you have the high beams on, but because they're LEDs, it can split the high beam into lots of little segments. So basically, I can drive around with the high beams on, and as soon as a car's in front, it will turn off that segment. So it's not blinding the other car, but it's still illuminating kind of the sides of the road. And as the car kind of moves past me, the individual sections either turn off or on. So it kind of sweeps past. So that way you always have a really good view of the road. I'm really impressed with these headlights. I'm sure they're going to come out on lots of other cars in the future. But yeah, for bearing in mind this is a relatively cheap K car compared to, you know, full-sized cars, the amount of extras and options that these cars actually have is quite impressive. So yeah, let's move around to the side maybe. I don't think there's much more to say at the front there, other than I did give it a clean last week, but it's rained quite a lot over the weekend, so I apologize. It is quite dirty again, but I'm not going to clean it again. So here we are at the side of the car. You can see it's quite a tall car. For being quite narrow and short, it's still quite tall, which I'll show you when we go into the interior. It gives you so much headroom. It's really nice and airy inside. I'm not sure how much you know about K cars, but basically they're limited in their length and width, possibly height as well. I'm not sure, maybe height, but definitely width and length, as well as other things like engine size, power. But yeah, so basically, as you'll see, there are no wheel arches or bulging wheel arches, but they have kind of given it these black kind of appearance of a flared wheel arch, but it is actually completely flat, pretty much. But it adds a little bit of character. It has the, I think, 15 inches. Let's see. Yes. So this being the 4-wheel drive variant, it has the 15 inches with the 165 width tires, so very skinny, but yeah, it looks quite cool with these little alloy wheels. Moving back, not much else to show you. It has the roof bars. We did opt for the wind deflectors for the windows, which are quite nice, but I guess not one of the party tricks, but one of the reasons we opted for this car is obviously the front door, nice and big, opens quite wide, but the rear doors are both sliding doors. This is absolutely amazing for loading and unloading Violet into the car and out of the car. It gives us so much room. There's no sills that you have to step up and over. It is completely flat, so you just straight in. I've got the door already open now, but it works either way to close and open. But you're coming back, you're holding Violet, you've got a bag full of shopping, so you can just come up to it, you can just put your foot underneath and it will either open or close the door automatically. So we'll run that scenario again. I come in holding Violet, bag full of shopping, can't open the door with my hand, so I can just put my foot underneath and it automatically opens. I've used this feature quite a lot, it is really handy. Moving on to the rear of the car, quite like this design. I quite like kind of the Delica Mini stamped into the rear tail here. And of course, it is actually a hybrid. So not only is it 660cc turbo, it also has the advantage of an electric motor just to help with that initial get up and go, really. The boot is not huge. You can stand underneath, which is quite nice, but I'll show you the interior, I guess now actually. So here is the boot. Not going to play around with it too much because we have the child seat set up, but you can basically move the rear seats forwards. Is it this one? This one. I can't push this much further forwards because of the child seat, but you can see that actually there is quite a large boot space in here. Let me see if I can get that in there for you. There's quite a large space here, and if you have the seats pushed forwards, all the way forwards, it is obviously going to restrict your leg room in the front there, but certainly for a child that wouldn't be an issue at all. But generally I have this quite far back, just because we get a small amount of boot space here, certainly big enough to do our shopping in, not an issue there. And then it still gives you loads of leg room in the front. I'll show you that in a second. You can also obviously fold down the seats and they go almost flat, so that's also a good feature. So now we move on to the interior. We'll start with the rear first. As you can see, I can sit in here, and this is my seating position for driving, and you can see I've got a good 1.5 feet of space in front of me. There's so much room, and this is with the seat almost all the way back. There's probably one more click to the furthest position back, and I have tons of headroom. Obviously it's only 2 seats in the back, 2 seats in the front, but yeah, this is perfect for traveling with adults or children. Loads of room. So when you're sat here in the back, you have air vents here for the rear. There is, I guess, a bag hook here. Interestingly, please excuse the dirty marks, that is Violet and all her stuff. It has kind of some pockets here for, I guess, Violet when she's older to put her stuff. It also has a nice fold out tray for her with a couple of cup holders, and then also I guess a map pocket, I guess you would call it. Each of the rear windows have these kind of mesh screens, which we generally leave up just to help Violet with the sun a little bit. But yeah, as you can see, loads of headroom, loads of space in here. Definitely, it doesn't feel cramped or crowded at all in here, which is a really nice. They've kind of really maximized the space of, you know, K cars, because K cars are just limited in size, so you really have to be quite clever in the way you design things, so you really get that massive feeling inside even with such a small car. So let's move on into the front, I guess. So here we are in the front passenger seat, you know, standard drinks holder, map kind of holder in the front. Again, excuse the mess, I haven't cleaned it since last week. So yeah, these are the 2 front seats. It has a nice armrest divider there. It also has kind of under seat storage, which we keep nappies and bags in. So passenger seat, we have a pocket here which we keep tissue box in. We have a pocket here, quite a small I guess glove box, but it has a HDMI lead if you wanted to connect your phone to play some video of some kind. We have a cup holder, a nice kind of shelf to put stuff on. I generally put my phone here because I connect it with this. We have a nice big touch screen. This is Android Auto or Apple, whatever the Apple version is, which is really nice. I think much better than a kind of OEM sat nav, because at least if I'm using Android Auto, the map's always up to date. It kind of is customized to how I like it with my phone, and it works in both English and Japanese, which is great. So it is a automatic, it's a CVT drive, so it doesn't have gears, it's kind of one gear as such. Climate control, being the T-spec, it has heated seats and a heated steering wheel, which is going to be great in the winter because Toyama gets very cold and a lot of snow, hence why we wanted the four-wheel drive version. Moving on, again, nice kind of headspace, some vents at the top here, lots of headspace. Moving on to the driver, we have the kind of the standard cluster with a little screen in the middle there. Cruise control, so it has like adaptive cruise control, so once you set that it will follow the car in front. Some small kind of paddle shifts to make you feel like you're in a race car. Moving on from there, we have this kind of small shelf here. You can put things as well as an additional cup holder, I guess it is. We also have this kind of bucket cubby thing down there as well. It does have buttons so you can automatically open and close the rear doors, as well as hill descent control, automatic start stop, heated steering wheel, and then also the remote for the side doors. Into the driver's seat, let's get this started. Nice small start screen. Let's turn off that so we don't make it too loud. The error is because I do have a door open, so that should disappear. There we go. So there's the charge of the battery for the hybrid system. So one of the cool features is this mirror. If it gets in focus, it is actually a camera. So if I dip the mirror, it turns off the camera, so it's just a standard rear view mirror. You can't really see a lot because of the people's heads, and the window's obviously quite far away, but this camera, if you flick it back on again, it actually, there's a camera out the back that shows you. And at first this took me a little while to get used to, but now actually I really like it. It's nice not seeing people's heads. You can, if you're doing some parking, let me get this focused, come on, there we are. You can press the button and it will display the 360 cameras that it has on both there and down here. And if you press the camera button again, it has the curb camera, which is also quite useful. Camera again, and it goes back to normal. I can't show you the display because obviously I'm recording on this phone, but it has all the usual things you would expect on a modern car, plus the Android Auto and Apple version. Quite a nice smooth running car, but they are quite revvy. When you really want to get going somewhere, it is very revvy. It's kind of a lot of noise and you don't really get anywhere too fast. It is quite a small engine. You know, there's a lot of motorcycles that have bigger engines than this car has, but you know, it does well for what it is. So that's a brief rundown of the Delica Mini. Yeah, a really good car. I'm really pleased with it. It's so easy to park because of the compactness of the car. The best MPG I've had from it is about 56 miles per gallon, which is, you know, considering it's 660cc turbo with the help of that hybrid system, I think is pretty good. But I've noticed in the hot weather, when you're really cranking on the AC, it does drop probably to about 46, 47 mpg. So yeah, that's the downside with having such a small engine. Any kind of extra load you put on it really does start to affect the MPG. But being K car, the tax is cheaper, the insurance is cheaper. It's a perfect runaround daily car, it really is. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this kind of small review of the Delica Mini. If you'd like to see maybe more detail about it, be sure to let me know. Like I said, I'm going to try and give you another update of daily life, of what we're up to soon, hopefully, because a lot has gone on, a lot has changed. But yeah, until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.